The elder said her life had been decided before she ever took her first breath, before the cattle were counted, before the drums called her name, before she knew what love was. Her name was Nomusa, daughter of Chief Ndlovu, the most feared and respected chief in the valley of Kwamashu. She was not just a daughter, she was a promise. A promise her father had made to secure peace with a rival clan after years of bloodshed. Since childhood, Nomusa had been raised differently from the other girls. While they sang by the river and learned to weave mats, she was taught silence, obedience, and sacrifice. Around her neck, she wore a heavy beaded necklace of red and white, the colors of her clan, symbols of duty, not freedom. She knew one day that necklace would become her chain. Across the valley lived Sibusiso, a young warrior of the rival clan, the Mtembu. He was known for his courage in battle and his quiet defiance of authority. Unlike the other warriors who gloried in bloodshed, Sibusiso carried something unusual in his heart: mercy. He had seen too many fathers buried, too many mothers mourning, too much loss. Their worlds were never meant to touch, but fate does not ask permission. One evening, as the sun bled into the hills and painted the sky in fire, Nomusa slipped away from the royal homestead to breathe, to feel, for just a moment, like her life belonged to her. That was when she heard it, a voice, low, gentle, singing an old Zulu folk song carried by the wind. She followed it to the river, and there he stood, a warrior, tall, strong, wearing the traditional isicholo headring of a young fighter, his shield resting beside him, his assegai planted in the earth. He turned when he sensed her presence, his eyes widening in shock. He knew exactly who she was, the chief's daughter, and she knew exactly what he was, the enemy. They should have turned away, but neither of them did. At first, they spoke only a few words, careful words, dangerous words, words that balanced on the edge of tradition and betrayal. Then the meetings became frequent, hidden beneath moonlight, behind tall grass, by the silent river that became their only witness. Nomusa learned he was not the monster her people described. He was kind, thoughtful. He listened when she spoke, as if her voice mattered. For the first time in her life, she felt seen. And Sibusiso, who had lived his life preparing to kill for his clan, found himself willing to die for her instead. But secrets do not stay buried forever. One night, Nomusa's cousin Zanele followed her. Zanele had always lived in Nomusa's shadow, second in beauty, second in importance, second in everything. And when she saw Nomusa standing close to the enemy warrior, when she saw the way he looked at her, something dark awakened inside her. Jealousy, betrayal, opportunity. By sunrise, the chief knew everything. The drums did not call for celebration that day. They called for judgment. Nomusa was dragged before the council fire, her beaded necklace ripped from her throat and thrown into the dust. Her father's eyes held no warmth, only fury. "You were never meant to love," he said coldly. "You were meant to bring peace." Her marriage to the rival clan's older warlord, Bekizitha, was announced immediately, a union meant to erase her shame and seal the alliance. She was no longer a daughter, she was a sacrifice. Meanwhile, Sibusiso was seized by his own people. They called him weak, a traitor, a man who had allowed his heart to betray his blood. He was given a choice: prove his loyalty or die. Prove it by standing guard at the wedding of the woman he loved as she married another man. On the day of the ceremony, the entire valley gathered. Women wore vibrant beaded skirts and layered necklaces, their ankles adorned with rattles that sang with every step. Warriors stood in formation, gripping shields made of cowhide, their bodies painted in ash and clay. Nomusa emerged from the hut slowly. She wore the bridal beads of her clan, heavy, beautiful, and suffocating. Across the ceremonial ground, Sibusiso stood among the warriors. Their eyes met. In that moment, the drums faded. The crowd disappeared. There was only them. Two hearts trapped by tradition, two souls condemned by loyalty. She had never been meant to fall in love, but she had. And now, everyone would pay the price. The drums returned. Not the drums of celebration, not the drums of union, but the drums of warning. Boom, boom, boom. The sound rolled across the valley like distant thunder, vibrating beneath bare feet, rattling through shields, crawling up the spine of every elder seated at the ceremony. Nomusa's breath caught in her throat. This was not part of the ritual. Across the ceremonial ground, Sibusiso's grip tightened around his shield. His warrior instincts awakened instantly. Something was wrong, very wrong. Then it happened. An arrow tore through the sky. It struck the wooden pole beside Chief Ndlovu's throne, quivering violently, and then another, and another. Screams erupted. Warriors raised shields. Women scattered. Dust swallowed the ceremony whole. From the ridge overlooking the valley, a third clan descended. Faces painted in black war ash, shields marked with a symbol no one present expected to see. The symbol of the Zwide, an enemy both clans believed had been wiped out years ago. Chief Ndlovu rose slowly, rage burning in his eyes. "This is betrayal," he growled. Across the chaos, Bekizitha, Nomusa's intended husband, did not look surprised. He looked prepared. And that was when Sibusiso understood. This was not an attack. It was a takeover. Bekizitha stepped forward calmly as his warriors shifted formation, not to defend the village, but to protect him. The rival clan had not come to seal peace. They had come to seize power. The marriage had never been about unity. It was about access. Access to the royal homestead, access to Chief Ndlovu, access to the throne. Nomusa's heart pounded violently as realization crashed into her. She had not been sacrificed for peace. She had been bait. Across the field, Sibusiso locked eyes with her again, and this time there was no hesitation. He moved, through smoke, through screaming villagers, through chaos. He reached her just as a Zwide warrior lunged forward. Steel clashed, shield against spear. Sibusiso fought not as a soldier bound by clan, but as a man with something to lose. He pulled Nomusa behind him. "You must go," he shouted over the noise. But she did not move, because she saw something no one else did. Her father. Sibusiso's eyes locked with Nomusa's one last time. Then he pressed her gently behind a fallen shield. "Stay here," he whispered, before turning and vanishing into the smoke as warriors clashed around them. Within seconds, the chaos swallowed him whole, until even the dust seemed unsure he had ever been there at all. I seek power. The elders were forced to their knees. The chief's guards lay dead. And in that moment, the balance of power shifted. Unless a horn echoed through the valley, a deep, ancient sound. Not from the Zwide, not from the Mtembu, but from the hills beyond. Every warrior froze, because that horn had not been heard in 20 years. From the horizon, a new formation appeared. Warriors wearing white feathers, carrying shields marked with a crescent sun. At their front rode a tall figure cloaked in leopard skin. The valley fell silent. Chief Ndlovu's face drained of color. "No," he whispered. Nomusa felt her blood run cold. She knew that symbol. It belonged to the clan her father had betrayed long ago. The truth began to unravel. Years before Nomusa was born, Chief Ndlovu had not won his throne honorably. He had orchestrated an alliance, a secret massacre. He had invited the Crescent clan to negotiate peace, then slaughtered them at night and blamed the Zwide. Only one child had survived that massacre, a boy smuggled away under darkness, raised in secrecy, trained, prepared. The rider dismounted slowly. He removed his headdress, and the valley gasped, because the Mandla, the last heir of the Crescent clan. Chaos reignited. The Zwide warriors clashed with Mandla's forces. The Mtembu realized they had been deceived by Bekizitha. The valley turned into a battlefield of betrayal, layered upon betrayal. Nomusa stood frozen in the center of it all. Her father had built his power on lies. The man she loved had built his life on revenge. And she had been a pawn in both stories. Mandla approached her slowly through the smoke. His face was no longer soft. It was carved from pain. "I did not plan to love you," he said quietly. His voice trembled for the first time. "You were never part of the plan." Nomusa felt tears burn her eyes. "So what was I?" she asked. "A weakness," he admitted, "and the only truth in my entire lie." Behind them, Chief Ndlovu struggled to rise. Blood stained his shoulder. "Finish this!" the chief shouted at Mandla. "End what your father started!" Mandla turned slowly. Years of grief stood between him and the man who had orphaned him. He lifted his spear. The valley held its breath. Nomusa stepped forward. "No!" Both men froze. "If you kill him," she said, voice breaking but strong, "then this valley will never escape the past. Another child will grow up seeking revenge. Another clan will burn." She turned to her father. "You taught me I was born to bring peace. Let me do it." Chief Ndlovu stared at her. For the first time, not as a tool, not as a sacrifice, but as a leader. Bekizitha attempted to flee amid the distraction, but Zanele, yes, Zanele, intercepted him, because in the chaos, she had realized something. Bekizitha had promised her status if she exposed Nomusa. He had promised to make her first wife once Nomusa was disgraced. She had been used too, and Zanele did not forgive easily. She drove a dagger into Bekizitha's back. His ambition ended in the dust he sought to rule. The battle slowed, weapons lowered. All eyes returned to Mandla and Nomusa. The ultimate decision: revenge, or something no one in that valley had ever truly chosen: forgiveness. Mandla's hand trembled. He had trained his entire life for this moment. He had imagined it countless times, but he had never imagined loving the enemy's daughter. Slowly, he lowered the spear. Mandla shook his head. "I do not want your throne." He looked at Nomusa. "I want an end." And so, before warriors from 3 clans, before elders and ancestors and ghosts of the past, Nomusa did what no bride had done before. She removed her heavy bridal beads, not in shame, but in choice. She placed them on the ground between Mandla and her father. "No more sacrifices," she said. The elders murmured. A new alliance was forged, not through marriage arranged by fear, but through leadership chosen by courage. Chief Ndlovu stepped down. Mandla refused kingship, and the valley did something radical. They chose Nomusa, the girl who was never meant to love, the girl raised to obey, the girl who had been used as bait, as sacrifice, as leverage. She became the first woman to stand before the clans not as property, but as their bridge. And beside her stood the man who had come for revenge and found something stronger. Not peace without scars, but peace built from truth. The drums sounded again that evening, not for war, not for forced marriage, but for something the valley had never witnessed before. A union chosen freely, not to seal an alliance, not to secure power, but because 2 people refused to let history decide their hearts. She was never meant to fall in love, but she did. And instead of destroying the valley, it saved it.